eventually it's cooking with Lemmy again. Not done a cooking with Lemmy for a long time, so we're going to do one today. Oh, we got our first visitor. He knows I got the bacon out. Yeah, Lemmy's up there. I almost lost him. Somebody put him away in the t-shirt drawer. He stays up on his hanger. You can see he's getting a bit, if I move you closer, he's getting a bit dirty. I think that's one of our old cooking exploits. Now I could clean him, but he might, I think Lemmy might start to fade a bit, because it is a t-shirt and those tend to fade if you ever wash them. So he's going to stay up there slightly splattered with food, which is appropriate. It's a cooking program after all. Yeah, you won't fade away. You won't fade to grey, which is a good song for 80s or 90s? I think it might be 80s. Let you go, Whisper. Right, so what we're doing today, a very simple one. Is it even cooking? Probably not. It's making a bacon butty, which is something that Lemmy would probably do before his concert and just before having sex with about 5 gorgeous 1980s haircut style groupies. Good. Right, so what you want to do for our bacon butty is you don't want to go fancy. You want everything to be as cheap as possible. So you want the cheapest toasty bread, nice and thick but really soft. You want soft spread for the ones that are not going to be I'm going to do both normal sandwiches and then I'm going to do fried bread sandwich. Right, so that's soft spread, just the cheapest stuff you can have. I don't want any of that fancy butter stuff. And then I've got lard, 45p for a pack. That's for the fried bread version. That's going to be quite unhealthy. And with that thick bread, you've got to be careful you don't put too much on. We've got a cheap brown sauce. And finally, the bacon. Now the bacon's the most important bit, of course, in a bacon sandwich. And what we want cheap again, but we want thick with the rind on. Hold on a second. Ooh, my sausages are doing well. Right. Good. I'm cooking 20 sausages for the dog. And my wife says he's getting a fat boy. Oh, where did she get that from? Anyway, getting back to the bacon. This stuff is really good. It's really cheap. Well, it was cheap before inflation. But the important thing is, as you can see, it's thick, or thicker than the normal stuff they do nowadays. You can it's actually got some weight to it, and it's got the rind on, which will go really crispy. As an old-fashioned piece of bacon, this is what we used to have back in the day, when we used to go down to the local supermarket, and they would actually cut it on a slicing machine. It used to have Danish in purple written on the side of a big round chunk of it, and they would slice it off to whatever thickness you wanted. So it's a bit like the old days, rather than that stuff that looks like Parma ham they serve up nowadays. You know, it's like that thick. Right, so that's that. And what we're going to do today, we're going to actually put it in the oven. You can fry bacon, but I find that if you want it really crispy, you've got to put it in the oven. The one bad thing about my bacon, of course, is being cheap. It's full of water, as it is nowadays. So when we're cooking it in the oven, we will have to take it out occasionally, drain the water off, and then eventually it will go crispy. So you have to drain the water off. But that's the only downside. So we're going to put it on this rack, so all the water and what can fall through, and it'll be air dried then from both top and bottom. I'm going to do it on quite a hot grill, and we'll come back later once we get going. Got to do my sausages in the meantime. Toodles! Okay, I've got the bacon on the rack above the actual bottom where I can drain the water off. I've got 6 pieces. You don't want to overlap them too much, obviously, make them crispy. I'm going to do 3 rounds. One's going to be the fried bread one with pork lard, and then we've got 2 normal sandwiches. One with brown sauce. No red sauce. We don't want the tomatoes anywhere involved. Yeah, one with brown sauce, one natural. Let's see how we get on. Right, let's stick these in the oven then. I don't know what that thing is. My wife bought it. What we're going to put near the top, I've actually got it on the oven setting, but you could put them on the grill as long as it's near the top. And what I'll do now is I'll just set it for 7 minutes, because 6 minutes, By that time it'll start cooking and all the moisture will come off and I'll have to pour it away. I'll probably put it in a bowl rather than down the sink because we don't want a fat bowl, do we? To annoy the local suey man. I've got my sausages cooking in the bottom as well, as you can see. That's for the dog. And then we'll crack on with the lard while we're doing this. And the fried bread. Okay, so now the next thing is to do the pop that off. Yeah, fried in lard sandwiches. So we want fried bread. Now normally you could actually just put the fat in the pan. The problem is then you put too much in. If you did it like that, it just soaks it all up. And I know this meal is quite unhealthy because it's bacon, but you don't have too much fat. So what I'll do, I'll stick that on the heat. And get it going. And rather than just putting the fat in there and judging for the best, what I do is I melt it in the microwave, the pork fat, the pork lard, and we'll just put on a quantity that's not too bad. There we go, that's one side. It's quite neat as well. You don't use too much. See, I've got loads of fat in here, but I probably don't need it. And obviously when I've got it in the pan, I can do the other side. It just soaks it all up, that's the problem. All you want is one on the surface, so that's good. Right. Get it nice and warm. Being gas, doesn't take too long. Do, 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 do. And then I'll do the other side in a minute once it started going. Right, let's check the oven. Ooh, love it. My glasses are steamed up, Lemmy. Did that ever happen to you? Oh yeah, contact lenses obviously. Oh, and a big warty nose. Right. Oh, actually, well, we're going to swing away. These haven't actually produced that much water. I don't know what's going on. You can see there's nothing on the bottom. There is steam coming off here when I open it. But yeah, they're doing alright. I need to turn up the temperature a bit. I think 250, yeah, that'll do me. Let's go, oh, you know, let's stay on oven. I could turn it on to grill. But they're doing alright. Yeah, just turn it up a bit. 250. Alright. Right, back to my, keeping an eye on my fried bread. Yeah, that's good. Not brown yet, obviously, but it's. You can see it's got an equal coating. Well, I might have a snifter, as Lemmy would do. Yeah, Lemmy obviously went from Jack Daniels and Coke to a far more healthy vodka and orange juice, because obviously vodka is very healthy, but I'm just having a snake bite. Yeah, a snake bite's very appropriate for Motorhead, I think. Dog's sitting out there. Have you seen him in the garden? You can probably just see him. I don't know why he's out there. He should be near, smelling all this good bacon and pork fat cooking. Right, I should probably press that down like that. Let's give it. Oh, look! Oh, doing all right. Well, I've got to put my lard on. Oh. I got carried away doing my videoing, as you do. There we go. I'll put a little bit more then for the last bit. Oh, ain't good. Crispy, as you can tell, and not too fat. I mean, still use quite a bit. Ooh, yes. Well, it's like take heart, isn't it? Where's Morph? If Morph was a piece of bread, it'd be that. Alright. Oh, press it down again. Actually, it's getting quite warm now. I'll just... You can see the smoke coming off. That's better. You don't have to get me always the same thing. It's like a pancake, always different on one side than the other. pop it over again, just a little bit more. Right. Yeah. Right, while that's doing, I'll just check the oven. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We'll be turning those over in a few minutes. Good. Right, let's do the next one. Ooh, sizzly, sizzly. Right, let's put the next bit on before I forget. Yeah, that's good. Right, we're back in a moment. Alright, I'm a bit multitasking here. I've got 20 sausages there, the cheap ones from Tesco's. They're £1.25. They used to be £1 before inflation. And they're actually cheaper than dog food, even though they've got more meat in them. They haven't got that much meat in them, only 40%, but dog food's got about 4%. So I sort of get all the fat off them and then give them in his dog food. So it has a bit of a difference, rather than just eating dog food all day. Anyway, I'm multitasking, got to get them sorted out, pull the fat off for later. I've still got this going. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I left that a bit. Oh, I wasn't concentrating, was it? It'll still be good. We'll do the bottom. Ooh. Bit more. Yeah, that was probably didn't put enough on. It was running around the pan. Right, let's get that sorted out, and let's get your sausages sorted out. Ooh, is that Jesus? It's either that or the guy, the lead singer out of Saxon. One of the two. Right, so the bacon's looking good. Quite crispy. We'll do the other side and then it'll be right to go. Ooh, good. And we rotate. I've just finished off my fried bread with the pork fat. Good. I'll turn those over, put them in for another 5 minutes while I do my buttering of the normal bread and put my brown sauce on. Excellent. Well, Lemmy, it's time to serve up. Let's get this rocking and rolling. Right, first of all, like I said, you've got to get your cheap margarine. Sunflower spread, as they call it nowadays. Such is a change from the 1980s. And a bit of a top tip here, if you're dumb, is that when you're stacking them, you put them butter to butter like that. Just keeps all butter from getting anywhere. And then this one, we've got the brown sauce, which is good. Ooh. Bing. We'll have those in a minute. We'll bring over our fried bread as well. Right, let's just pop that brown sauce on. Ooh. Ooh, a bit too much. Don't mind if I do. Of course, when you've put brown sauce in it, it's de rigueur to lick the knife clean. Oh, lovely. That's one for the chef. Good. And now all we've got to do is get the bacon out and serve it up. Oh, let me have a quick drink first in honour of Lemmy. Now, hopefully this is going to be very crunchy bacon, isn't it, Lemmy? Oh, he knows it's going to be. It's going to be crunchy, crispy, crunchy. Also, you noted that I did all those sausages. That was the fat off them, which basically is pork lard again. It keeps him healthy, and we can use that for rather than buying 45p worth of pork lard. Good. Right, let's get cracking. Where am I going to put everything? That's a good point. We've got crumbs everywhere. Right, let's pop that back on there. And let's get the bacon served up. Ooh. That's looking damn crispy. And it's not shrunk. It has shrunk, obviously. It will always shrink because you lost the water. But look how crispy that is. Oh yeah, very crispy. Can you hear that? Oh. Oh. Oh, that's one for this chef. Oh, I do like the rind. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Right, we've got our bacon. We've got our sandwiches. The good thing about this is it doesn't stick to them as much as it would do a normal pan if you sometimes have too much water. Good. Right, let's plate up on my plate. Andy's big plate. Ooh. Ooh. Actually, it's not that big. I'm out of trouble here. Right, anyway, let's plate up. Ooh. Ooh, right. It's just a perfect fit, isn't it? That's the great thing about these pieces of bacon. They just fit on really well. And of course, you've got to have 2 layers. 2 layers, Watson. That's what they call me. Actually, I've got to say a bit from my dog. He will have that bit. I'll put it on the side, so when he's begging later, I can just do it. And there we go, we've got our top bits, rather than Top Gun. You've got to squish it down. Got to squish it down. Get it warmed up, get everything melting. Blimey, that one looks unhealthy. And finally, the final thing that you have to do is, of course, cut them. Now, you've got to do it triangular because they taste better. Don't do it like that, or like that. Not like that, just like that. Could you just like that? So, if you press them down, they won't fall apart as much when you, well, apart from that one, which is crunchy. When you get your thing right, here we go. Ooh, nice. I'm gonna get space again. They look. I'm gonna do it arty like that. Right, last one. Turn it upside down. Actually, get the heat going to the top. Oh, damn. There we go. And the bit for my dog. I'll just put that there when he's pestering me. And we're completed. Bacon sandwiches for one. A fat bastard one. What do you think, Lemmy? Yeah, no wonder you're pointing at me. We haven't got any bacon grease on you. Oh, maybe later, love. Oh, fantastic. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I tell you, I wanted to nick that bit, but I know my dog will kill me later if I don't. Look at that. Oh, it's probably not in focus. It'll be in focus in my belly later. Oh, that is going to be like, I think it must be about 2,000 calories or 3,000. Something like you'd go out to McDonald's to get. Anyway, Whisper and I are going to eat this, and Lemmy's going to be happy just watching from on high. Toodles!